friends, and welcome back to the channel. This week we are working on a brand new bag in the year of bags. So we have a nice summery one for you today, the Poolside Tote from Noodlehead. This is a nice huge pool bag. You can fit, I think when we went on vacation we fit like, you know, the two towels, the snacks, the everything in here. It's really big. I gave this a B+. Nice and big, easy to assemble, but it did take extra time for all the details. So I don't know that this is one I will sell, but I did just rejoin the YMCA to do water aerobics all summer. So I would like to have a new poolside tote for myself, and we'll see if we can get the time down on this to a reasonable amount of time. I do have a lot of pretty canvas fabrics, tropical fabrics that I would love to use to make these. So maybe we can just do the ones that we have fabrics for and put those in the shop and see how they go. It's got a lovely front pocket detail here, and then it's also got a little key ring holder to hold your keys so that they're not buried at the bottom of your bag. And I don't remember if it came with a slip pocket or I just added a nice high little slip pocket that I put my cell phone in when I go to the gym. So that's been really handy. I will add that in here if it's not part of the pattern. So the fabrics we're going to be working with this week are this very pretty, it's such a big print, you can't see it very well here. There we go, that's a lovely print. It's just kind of some tropical leaves, which is beautiful. And nice and big print for this big bag that we're making. And then I have some natural canvas. It's thinner than a normal canvas, but it's kind of like, I don't know, like a thin canvas or corduroy that we'll be using for the inside of the bag and the handles. Let me show you the one we made last time. So here's the one I made for myself a couple of years ago with another print, another tropical print of the, what is that, Monstera leaves. This has been through a lot. So it's been through lots of water aerobics and back and forth to the Y and also back and forth to Hawaii and on the beach and everything. So it's been through a lot. The white, I was worried about the natural color getting dark because the handle straps go all the way under here. They've been fine. I used the same natural for the inside of the bag. You'll see that slip pocket I was talking about. And it's been fine too. So it's just got a little wear here and there. I could technically, I think it has fusible fleece, so I can't really throw it in the washing machine. But yeah, I haven't had any issues in the last couple of years using it. So I've been really happy with that and not so worried about putting that light fabric on the interior or anything because I feel like it's held up very well. And then we will just be using our green zipper to go with that. So go ahead and grab your water or a cozy beverage and curl up and let's get to making this bag. So before I start this week, I'm going to go ahead and put my pattern back in its sleeve. So here we have our product line patterns. So these are all the ones that I've approved to be in our product line. And usually what I do is when I take it out of the sleeve to work on it, I put a little post-it inside so that I know which bag, where this goes back. So I'm going to take my pattern and my pattern pieces and I'm going to put them back in the sleeve. And it's all ready for next time. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the dining room table back into working order. I tried a different setup last week and it didn't really work for me. I like being able to have the cutting mat over here. The table's more useful for me on a regular basis. And then the whole thing of having to push the table up kind of blocked the walkway. So we're gonna put it back to the way I like it. All back to normal. Basically, when I walk by here, you know, I can put my cup down here, I can put stuff down here that's not going to mess up the mat. So that's usually what I do. it just makes the room feel more open as well. So yay, we can get to work. Okay, another project for today, my hair's already looking crazy, is we have to change the sheets. So a long time ago we decided to protect the couch by putting bed sheets on the couch as a first layer of protection for the dogs. And then we also have blankets that we put down for them as well. There's definitely been a few accidents over the years that we're happy we put the bed sheets down, but it's time to switch those out, give those a wash. So I'm gonna strip the couch, put it all back. I did get this really pretty new blanket for summer. Yes, even in summer I like to have a blanket. The air conditioning comes right down on my feet, so it's nice even when it's hot in the summer. If the air is on and I'm sitting on the couch, I get kind of chilly, and I like to have a blanket, and at night as well. It just makes me feel more comfortable. So I found this sunflower one that goes with the sunflower tablecloth we just bought, and it's really cute. So it really goes with the wall color as well, which I love. So it just brings a little bit of summer in, because we're getting around that time. It's only like 69 in my house, but because I'm moving around, I'm really hot. So let's get this couch stripped, and then we can wash the sheets. And yeah, even though it's Saturday, it's, you know, bag making days on Saturday, and Sunday is my big chunk of time to do that. But we also have chores to do, so we gotta take care of those as well. And work's been like super crazy lately. So, you know, I've been really just beat when I come home from work, and I haven't done much in the evenings, so I've got a lot to catch up on this weekend. So let's get going. Hey, I thought I would start us off with taking a look at the original Poolside Tote that I made. So it's got this great feature of these handles that go kind of at an angle down and around. You've got your front zipper pocket, which is nice. It's also got this nice dip here, which is perfect for putting your arm in. It just puts it far enough down where it's not sitting right under your underarm. I think I might want to make the handles a little bit longer. I have that note in the pattern, and it seems to be, yeah, once it's totally full, I mean, it's good to hold like this, but I think it could be a little bit longer. And then we sew them like this, so we have the long strip and then we sew them together, which is nice, except it's kind of bulky with the with canvas. This is the lighter canvas, so that worked out good. And then we kind of have this facing piece on the inside that wraps around. And as you can tell, we made like a little phone pocket here, which is, I use this all the time, it's very handy. And then we have our little key holder. Now in the pattern it says you can use twill tape. I just used some of the canvas and wrapped it around. And I think this is a 3/4 of an inch swivel clip, not an inch. So I'm gonna go with the same size on this next one. And you can just see it's super roomy. It easily fits my towel, my sunglasses, change of clothes, keys, wallet, whatever you need to go to the Y or the beach. I thought about putting a magnetic snap on here, but generally this is so full that you don't really need a snap. So that's where we're at. I got my sunglasses. Yeah, so it's just like a huge bag, you can see. And we took a look at everything last week, but you can, I mean, this zipper is a lot more green than it showed up on camera last week. So hopefully it will show up better when we put it in on the overhead camera. Let's cut out this fabric and get going. Okay, I'm gonna try and get you guys as high up as I can because this is such a big piece of fabric. I'm glad I have my large mat here. So we're just gonna get this going. Okay, so our other pocket. Okay, so I used, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's right. It's not a pocket pocket. We're actually sewing it on top here. So the sides of it are gonna get covered up by the handles, which means this is actually the outside of the bag. This is still the main panel. And then this piece is the pocket piece. So I did do the pocket out of the solid. That's good. And then we have this facing that we have to do and sew on top. Yeah. Okay, so it's a little bit different than I was remembering. Really nice when our prototype is still around when we go to make the bag again. If I have sold the bag, then I'm kind of screwed. I don't have a reference for that. So this pocket is 7.5 by 5.5. What is in there? Oh, I've got a bunch of old cough drops in there and sand. So probably not the best thing to just put on my table here. Okay. So I already forgot what I said. 7.5 by 5.5, which means our interior slip pocket is going to be 8 by 6, but we're going to double the 6 because we folded that over. So it's going to be 8 by 12, which we can easily get out of this piece of material. Okay, so we are going to pick a really strikingly different color of thread for this. Something I have a lot of. I think we'll pick the red because it's a larger spool of thread. So I've got plenty of this. So the idea here is that we're going to leave a line of stitching that's a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then we're going to use that line of stitching to press this under so that we have a clean edge when we sew it down. Normally you would just press it towards the center, but with this it's got a curve, so you can't like press it flat linearly. So we're going to have to curve our pressing, which means that this way of doing it's going to make it a lot easier for us to see. Now we're going to learn from last week. We're going to make our stitch length very big. So I've got it at 3 right now. I think we're just going to go up to 5 and do this. So I have to remember that 2 of these are supposed to go the other direction. So 2 of these are supposed to go this way and 2 are supposed to go this way. So, oh, actually, they're very similar. It's just like a little bit rougher on the other side, but it's not like that much rougher. So I think I'm just going to separate them out like that so that I know I have 2 and 2 going the correct directions. And then we're just gonna stitch along here with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, which I already have from my previous bag. So let's just go for it. So you're just following that slight curve so that when we go to press it under, you can follow that same curve. It's a kind of a neat technique. The only problem with it is we're gonna have to pull out all these stitches after we're done with this whole thing. So let's do the other side. Okay, so this is a nice feature. I decided I'm gonna go ahead and do it again. It's just really nice to have kind of a rolled handle. So you're just marking 7 inches in, and then we're gonna stitch right on top of our top stitching to encase these, and then they will be a nice feature for our bag. Okay, so the only thing left we have to do is take the iron and get rid of this mark. So to get rid of our tail. Okay, we're coming along. Okay, now comes the weird part. So I'm gonna have to go baste these. I'm gonna have to do a 1/2 inch baste on the bottom. And then I am going to do a 1/4 inch basting, which I'm then gonna have to pull. So it's kind of like we're gathering this curve. I'm having flashbacks to when I made this before. I think this was the hardest part. I think I'm gonna keep my cream thread in the machine to have a nice contrasting thread I can see this with. So we're only gonna do the 1/4 inch on the curved part here. Just a little bit, and then when we iron it, I'll pull that more if I need to. So not as difficult as I remember. We're just gathering it there. So that turned out pretty good. I'm going to do the other one. Basically what we're going to have is the clean edge of this is going to be on the inside when we're done, which is why we folded it over. So we have a clean edge to sew down. Okay, we got a great tip last week. Let me see if I can angle you better. There we go. So we got a great tip last week from the library who commented, why don't you put a book under your machine? So as you'll recall, last week we were using our tape to kind of prop up the machine down here and make it taller so that this space is up higher. And I was like, I hadn't even thought of a book. That's such a good idea. So I got out one of my heftier volumes here, and we're gonna put this underneath instead. Now the only problem is it's still slippy slidey, but I think it works well, and you can see how much more space we have, how much more raised this is, which is really gonna help us get our stitching underneath this throat. So let's go get our bag and let's do the final steps. We're almost done. So what we need to do now is cut down on this bulk, and we're going to make little clips into the curve, and then we're going to flip this over, and then we're going to be stitching this down in the lining side. And I think we're going to top stitch this as well. Yay, and here we have the finished product. Yay! So the only thing weird is that because we've got this change of color, I went ahead and stopped and started with my top stitching on the color part, and then I came back and did the top stitching with the cream on the cream. So it's a little hard to line up. You'll notice that you've just got a different color here, which is in the inside, and I would rather have a different color there than here because it's very noticeable here. I had to undo the top stitching the first time when I made the first bag and redo it because it was driving me crazy. So there we have that, and we've got everything around here. Now I clipped the corners too much when I was doing that step last time. So I'm going to take some fray check, and I'm just going to put some fray check on here because canvas frays like a you-know-what. So we're just gonna put some fray check on that now that it's all sewn and I'm not really touching it again on all 4 of those corners, just to make sure they don't go anywhere. So I don't want them fraying more than that. And I really didn't have enough fabric to redo it at that point, so that's where we're at with that. So we'll let that dry. And then the only other thing I wanted to point out is I didn't do this last time. It had more of a drop. So I shouldn't have sewn it into this seam. I should have waited and just sewn it into this seam, and then it would be a lot longer than it is. But what's done is done. I'm not going to tear it all apart because of that. So yay, I really love it. I love these fabrics. They're just so me. So yeah, so just gonna put my name on it, and then I will meet you back where we're gonna pack up our order. So thank you, Sherry, and thank you, Nancy, for placing an order this week. I really appreciate it. And yeah, it's just great to see all the pretty bags go to new homes. Since I don't know if it's gonna rain between here and where the package is going, I'm gonna go ahead and put everything in a Ziploc. So we've got our one bag, tuck this in here, our other bag. She also got some progress keepers, sending a thank you card, and a little care instructions for each bag in case she's giving one as a present, and then a few of my cards. Hey friends, well that's it for this week. We've had a lot of fun. I'm wearing these cool overalls that I just bought on Amazon. I will link them below for you. Give you a little pan up and down here. So they're very fun. I have a YouTuber who wears overalls, and I really like them. So I just ordered a pair for myself. So those are fun. I'm going to enjoy wearing those in the studio on the weekends. And let's take a look at our finished bag. Yay! So I already took it to the pool yesterday. I'll pop in a few pictures of it at the pool. But really fun. I really like it. I already knew I liked it. So this time, I don't know why I used fusible fleece the first time I made it. I think just because I was new to canvas and I didn't realize how sturdy it was going to be, so I thought I needed the fusible fleece, but I don't. So I think that's saved us a lot of time as well. It's plenty, you know, it's plenty sturdy without any interfacing, and it's lighter that way so that when you fill it up with all your stuff for the beach or the pool, it's not as heavy as the other one. And the nice thing is it's washable. So I'm going to do that for the other ones. This only took us 6.5 hours, which is a lot less than the first time I made it, so I feel comfortable. We can take the rest of the canvas fabric we have, which I think is 4, and I can make 4 more poolside totes to put in the shop. So I just need to order more of this canvas because I really like the fact that it's like a softer, thinner canvas for the lining. So that worked out very well. So very excited to use my new pool bag when I do my water aerobics class from now on. And we are at 400 subscribers! Yay! So my next goal is 500. I would love it if you could help share my videos and help me reach that goal. So if you know anybody crafty who likes watching YouTube videos and studio videos, I would love it if you would share one of my videos with them and get them interested in the channel. And thank you to all of you who have hit the subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. It's warms my heart that you would take the time to do that and take the time to watch these videos. So next week we'll be working on all of those pencil pouches that we've been putting off. And my sister and I are going to an art thing next Saturday, so I will take you along on that if I can. And I think we're going to do some future planning, pick out what bags we're going to make with all those fabrics we picked out a couple weeks ago, and put those in our project sleeves and get those lined up and ready to make. So thank you for joining me this week and taking time out of your busy schedule to spend time with me. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Love you. Bye.